Hello friends, welcome to Coding Garden with CJ. In tonight's episode, I'm going to build a soundboard. So the main idea is I want to be able to have a soundboard of sound effects like cheering and booing and victory and like sad trombone and different sound effects like that that I can just play on my live stream at opportune times. So I'm going to do that. I have already downloaded some sound effects that I am going to play around with. Let me just play a few of them for you. There's applause. Like the for jokes, right? In case I do something that maybe the chat doesn't like or something like that. Yeah. Correcting. So yeah, if I get something right or somebody in the chat answers a question right or something, I'll play that one. A gasp for like something surprising. A pinch harmonic for something that is righteous. Sad trombone. I think I have a drum roll. Yeah. There's a ta-da. And wrong. Cool. If you're watching live and that is like way too loud, please let me know in the chat. I think I adjusted the levels okay, but if it's too loud, let me know. But the main idea is I'm going to build like a JavaScript, a UI using JavaScript to have little buttons to click these different sounds whenever I would like to. So that's the plan. So I have all the sounds there as MP3 files, and then I created this simple JSON file that's essentially an array of all of the names of the files. So it has the title of that sound and then the name of the file that will be played. And so I have that for all of the files in that folder. So the first thing I need to do is request the sounds from this JSON file, and then we'll add them to the page, have like play buttons for each one, and go from there. And then maybe like a button where like if you're playing multiple sounds or playing any sound, you can just click it to stop it instantly. Okay, so I'm gonna get started. I'm just gonna create a index.html to start with. Generate that. I'll bring in some script. Let's just call it app.js. Yeah, okay, so Chad just messaged in the chat. Here's the other thing. I could make it so that like if the chat says a specific phrase, it could actually trigger the sound on my stream. I don't know if I'd want to do that because it might get too out of hand, but that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, or yeah, like I could make keyboard shortcuts to make those specific sounds. Hey Bob, welcome to the stream. So yeah, I created the file, the HTML file. Let's create app.js. First thing I need to do is get the sounds. So I'm just gonna write a function called getSounds, and this is gonna make a fetch to the sounds.json file. So if you've never done this, essentially it's just requesting this local file. It's like it's not from an API or anything like that, but it's just requesting the file. And we can use async await on this. So let's make this an async function. We will say response is await fetch the file. Another question in the chat, can I incorporate MIDI so I can use a controller? Yes, so the web browser actually has a MIDI API, and you can detect when keys are pressed on a MIDI keyboard. Let me see, do I have my MIDI keyboard around here? Okay, I don't have it nearby, but the thing is I could plug in a USB MIDI keyboard and then like press a key and that would trigger a specific sound. That would be really cool to do as well. Yeah, so these are like stretch features, but yeah, so many cool things we could do with this. All right, so we get the response, and then we'll say the JSON is, we're gonna await the response.json, and then let's just log the JSON. Bob is excited about the Web MIDI API. But it's pretty cool. You can actually detect MIDI devices inside of the browser and then detect when specific MIDI notes are played. So that's a cool thing. All right, so I got the file. It's requesting the file. Let's open the file in the browser. I'm going to use a light server right here. And if we look at the dev tools, oh, we got to invoke our function. Let's do that. So yeah, when the page loads, let's say get sounds. Okay, and then we got an array of all 12 sounds. So let's add them to the page. Let's just actually, yeah, let's just add them to the page. Really simple. I'm barely gonna have any CSS styles for now. So let's make just like a main section, and inside of there will be a section, and let's just call this sounds. And then we'll need to append to it. So up at the top, we'll say sounds element is document.querySelector for the thing with the ID sounds. And so we get the sounds, and let's actually just return this JSON here. And then we can use this function, well, we can use the value from this function here. So we can do like sounds equals await get sounds, and then we'll say add sounds to page, and we'll pass in the sounds. And then I'll create a function called add sounds to page. This accepts in the sounds. And then let's like iterate over them. So actually we want to create some HTML. Let's just create like divs with the title of each of the sounds. Oh, I'm covering this console. Good call. Here, let me do this like that. Yeah, so I'm messing around with a new setup. Like I'm actually standing today instead of sitting. But the cool thing is, check this out. I can point at that function, see? Is my FaceCam mirrored? No, it's just, it used to be mirrored, so that way, when I looked that way, it actually, wait, yeah, it looked like I was looking that way, but now it's not. Yes, Emmy, y'all are asking the right questions and making the right comments. I am on a different side than you. Usually I'm on the right side. And here, like, I'll show you real quick. Like, I could, here, well, I'm floating. Woo! Okay, I could flip myself. Let me do this. Boom! Okay, so now when I look in that direction, it looks like I'm looking in that direction. And I can point like that. Okay, and then let's see how that works out with my browser. Yeah, because then that could be full screened and it's not really blocking the what you call it, the things that are being logged. This is cool. Any other issues, please let me know in the chat. I am just working this out. And also I've been standing all day, which is a good thing because I've been sitting so much. Okay, so we're at this add sounds to page. Essentially, we want to add a bunch of things to the page. In some previous streams that you've seen me do, like I've built up like an HTML string and appended that. I think in this case, I don't want to do that because I want to actually append audio elements so that I can keep track of them and play and pause them. Bob is saying black bar on the left side. What do you mean black bar? That? Please elaborate, Bob. All right, regardless, let's do this. So sounds.forEach sound, and I am going to then actually create some DOM elements. So let's say, okay, Emmy is agreeing. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What is the black bar on the left side? So we're gonna create an element. So let's first create a div that'll have like the title inside of it, and then we're also gonna append like an audio element to it. So div, let's call this sound div, and set that equal to document.create. Part of the screen is completely black with no content? What? Okay, let me look at the live stream real quick. That'd be horrible. I might have to restart my... Oh! Oh! I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay, here's the reason why. My screen is not like full. It's not the actual 1920 by 1080 resolution. So usually I have it like right in the center like that. So yeah, I'll do that. Transform, center to screen. Yeah, and then I can move myself a little bit to the right. Okay. That makes sense. I see what you all are saying. I'm totally blind to it because it's just like a big black bar on the left-hand side. Now I'm centered. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Cool. Thank you, chat. You're keeping me honest. We gotta stay professional here at Coding Garden. Yeah, let me know if that's better. All right, we're gonna create an element. That's a div, and then we're gonna create, let's just say like an h2. Let's take a quick stretch. Bob says everything checks out. I did that just for you, Bob, and Emmy, and Chad, and all you beautiful people out there watching not live, because you're great too. Okay, so I got the sound div. Let's create like an h2 sound title. Let me document.create element. Oh, not that. Actually, I worked on my snippets today. You might notice that when I type log, well, have I typed a log yet? I don't think I have. But I had some like really weird stuff popping up before, but I disabled Atom IDE, and now I'm using a plugin called Turn.js, which is working out a lot better, I think. So I want to create an h2, and then on that h2, I want to set its text content to be sound.title. And this is coming from the JSON file, so yeah, so we should grab the title there. And then let's just append this to the sounds element here. So, well, first we'll append the sound title to the sound div. So sound div.append child sound title. And then sounds element dot append child sound div. So we append the h2 to the div and then append the div to the page. Okay, so when the page loads, we should see nothing. I see. So this I'm trying to call await just inside of the file, and you can't do that. Await can only be inside of an async function. Excuse me. I think there's a new browser spec that would allow await at the top level, but I can't do that. So I either need to put it in an async function. Well, I need to put it in an async function, but one thing I can do is put it in an ify. So an ify is an immediately invoked function expression, and so I could do an async ify and put this code inside of it. That should do it. Okay. Yeah, so that worked. All right, let's add just some basic styles to the index.html. So we'll link in styles.css. And actually, I think my Flux is kicking in. Let me just disable it. Cool. I don't know if you could see that on the live stream, but regardless. Okay, so I got some styles. Let's create it. Styles.css. On the body, I want the font family to be sans serif. Let's see what that did. Very nice. All right, let's create a class for like the sound element. So sound, we'll do display is inline block, so that way they're not all on a new line. And then each div that I create, I'm going to give it that sound class name. Sound div dot class name is sound. And now that they're inline block, yeah, they should be across like that. Cool. Let's just do some basic width stuff here. So let's say like width is 20%. So we should see like 5 across. Cool. I'm going to give the parent element a little bit of margin so that it's pushed in a little bit. So let's say main has margin. Actually, let's look this up because I could do this. What I want to do is like a margin left of like 1em and a margin right of 1em. But there's a shorthand for, wait, did I do that? What am I doing wrong? Welcome, Brett. Welcome to the stream. And howdy from New Zealand. Thanks for tuning in. What time is it in New Zealand right now? Is it like really, really early? I think, yeah, I don't know. Well, welcome. So awesome that you could join us. Am I doing something weird here? Why is the syntax highlighting off? Let's look at the elements. So we've got our main, and nothing is being applied to it. Whoa, whoa. 1 p.m. Oh, that's not bad. But it's 1 p.m. Friday? Just do margin 1em. Okay. What the heck am I doing wrong? I'm trying to write some CSS from scratch for once, but I have a main element. I'm trying to target it here and give it a margin. And that's not working. It's not even being applied. Yeah, that's awesome. He's in the future. Brett is in the future. 3em. Yeah, that's working. What is wrong with this? I guess I'll just give it a class. Let's give this like a class of container. And over here, let's just say the thing with class container has a margin of 1em, and that seems to work. Okay, cool. But yeah, let me look up the syntax for margin, because I want to be able to, instead of specifying like margin left, margin right, there's a shorthand where you can just do a few values, but I always forget what order that they're in. Yeah, like this, but what order are these in? Top, right, bottom, left. So what I want to do is margin 0 pixels for the top. The right will be, let's say, 3em. So top, right, the bottom will be 0 pixels, and the left will be 3ems. Cool. How's that? Cool. I like it. Sweet. Let's give the sound a border. We'll say like 2 pixels, solid red. Okay, and then let's give them a little bit of margin. Well, yeah, because I want some space around the border so that they have a little bit of breathing room. Let's do 2 pixels. Cool. And if we look at that, so yeah, the section has a bunch of space there. I want to center the section. So let's make the main have a display of flex. See what happens. Okay. and then I believe it's align items center. Nope. Justify content center. But I also have to do flex direction is column. That's not working. So container has one child. I guess that wouldn't work because the section is already taking up 100% of the width, and I actually want the elements inside of it to be centered inside of it. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I do want to write some more JavaScript. Let's leave that there for now. Let's center the title. That should be pretty simple. It's text align center. Cool. And then let's put like a little play button below there, and that's how we'll start the audio for that thing. So in here, let's create a button. Play button is going to be document.create element. We're going to create a button. And the play button dot text content is going to be an emoji. Is there a play emoji? Yeah, that thing. And then we'll append the play button. Chad is trying to write code in the chat, but I anticipate your advice. Chad is decent with CSS. I am not. Okay. And now we're going to append this play button to the sound div. So sound div dot append child. Also, I have a brand new keyboard, so I'm getting used to that as well. Everything's new today. Everything. Play button. Cool. That's fun. Let's style the button a little bit. Let's give this button. Oh, we'll just style using the button selector. So let's give it some margin, like that, cool. And then let's give it some width. Let's do like 80%. Cool. And I think we're on our way. So we're gonna click this button, and then the sound will play. Display flex, justify content, space around. And so this is what Chad is saying in the chat. Should I apply that? So if we look at how I have this laid out, should I apply that to the container class main? And will that center the section? No harm in trying it. Welcome, Joe. Yeah, let's just try it. So we're saying on the container, if we give this a display of flex and a justify content of space around. We tried it. Does that need to be applied to the sounds? I think I called it, no, I called it ID sounds. Yep, that did that. Don't want that. Then I could use like CSS grid or something. Or I could give each sound a, we could say, can't you do like flex 1 and that will take up a certain amount, or like flex 2? Yeah, I don't know. Not gonna mess with that. Wait, what just happened? Oh, I got rid of the container class. Ah! Okay, not that. Get rid of that. And then, okay. Okay, so we're back to where we were. All right, easy enough. To container, flex only affects the current element and direct children. Yeah, so if we applied that to the container, I didn't see any changes. I guess the interesting thing is like section is taking up 100% width. And then I think because this is like 20% plus 2 pixels, it doesn't fill it all the way. What if we did like 18%? That's horrible. 20% is great. Okay, here's what we want to do. When this button is clicked, we want to grab the source of the, well, actually, we should also append an audio element to this div. So let's call this like player. And this will be document.create element audio. Whoa. Like I said, new keyboard, getting used to it. Create an audio element, and then we'll append this player to the div. So sound div dot append child player. And I believe, yeah, it's hidden by default. So like if you can look in here, there is an audio element, and like we can set its source art attribute. So if I do player dot set attribute source, and we want to set the source to be, we have the sound, so we should be able to say like sound dot, what did we call it? We can look in the JSON. Yeah, sound.src. But we need to put the sounds directory in front of it. So we can say, you do like a template string where this is sound.src. But we'll say sounds/sound.src. This is my break timer. Let's take a quick stretch. And actually, I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab some water. We're drinking passion fruit LaCroix today. Okay. Yeah, so we're setting the source attribute to be that specific sound. And so now, if we look at the elements, this audio has that source. And so now we should try to play it, maybe. So when this button is clicked, so right here I'll say play button dot add event listener. We're going to listen for the click event. And when it's clicked, we're going to say player dot play, I think. We'll look at the audio element API in a second. But I think that's it. Let's try it. All right. It worked! Cool. Victory. Sweet. But let's look at the MDN docs for audio, because there's a lot of other things we can do. So like one thing is like right now, if I play a sound and then click play again, I'm not sure what will happen. Yeah. Nothing happens. Like I clicked it multiple times and it just kept playing. So we want some logic in there, like if it's already playing, restart it, that kind of thing. Who's excited? I'm excited. Are you guys excited? That was fun. We got some audio going. Let's just search for audio element. The embed audio element. The HTML audio element is used to embed sound contents in documents. It may contain one or more audio sources. Cool. The DOM interface, HTML audio element. Yeah, and I guess actually, Magneto in the chat is saying .stop.play is sufficient. Let's try it. Well, yeah, so that would, if you click it again, that would stop the current and then play it. Are we gonna have to do any like seeking though? Like, let's try it. Oh no, yeah, check that out though. Oh, Bob is mentioning I don't have an air horn sample. Bob, can you please find me one? That's like the but bug, right? So I think what happens is because it's already been played, we need to like send it back in time. Like we need to tell it what the time is. Some of the more commonly used properties of the audio element include source, current time, duration. Yeah, did this a while back, but let's just do it. So say player dot current. Well, I think I pasted it. Current time is 0. So set it back to the beginning, and then stop it and play it. Oh wait. I wonder if can you detect if it's playing. Ooh, paused. Wait, no. Okay, JavaScript audio is done playing. Check if audio is playing. Well, I kind of want to detect like, not that it's paused. Duration. Okay. Here we go. So when we click it, we want to say if player.current_time is less than or equal to player.duration, then we'll set the current time to 0. So that means like if we had already played it, and then we'll just say play. So now no matter what, if it's already in the middle of playing, it will set it back to 0. If it's done playing, it'll set it back to 0. Actually, we could just say player.current_time equals 0. We don't even have to check that. I don't know. Let's do it. Okay. Correct. That's working. Cool. And actually, I don't think we even need to do this. Like, I think we just set current time to 0 no matter what, and then it will always just reset it. Let's refresh. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Now I guess we could like work on some stylings. I think in the chat earlier they had some really cool ideas for stuff we could do to this. Like we could have it. I could have like a chatbot that detects when people say to play a sound and it could play its sound. I could have hotkeys. Actually, that'd be super interesting. Like, what if I mapped like each one of these to a different letter on the keyboard, and when that key is pressed, it plays it. Yeah, and then the other cool thing would be incorporating MIDI, which is basically I could have a MIDI keyboard sitting here and just like play different notes on it to get it to play. Okay, before we do that, let's just work on the stylings because this is like butt ugly. So let's make it look a little bit nicer. Let's say the sound has a border radius of 20 pixels. What will that do? Ooh, very nice. Let's give the sound a background color. Let's just make all of them red. Well, actually, you know what would be cool? Like a literal button. Like when you press it, it goes in, and then when you let go of it, it goes out. I don't know. I'm not gonna do that. Never mind. Let's make the background black and the color white. Ooh, that's ugly. And well, no. Boo. Let's find a color palette. I am horrible with picking colors for stuff. Pleasing colors. I like dark colors. I don't know, boomerang looks cool. Okay, So let's do this. Let's make the background of the button be this tealish color, maybe? No, we'll make it this purplish color, and then the border will be that orangish, no, the yellowish color. So background will be that, and the border will be nice and yellow. And let's also bump this up to like 5 pixels. All right, what do we got? Oh, that's pretty. Very nice. And then let's make the background of the entire site be like this color. So let's say body's background is that color. Ooh. Cool. And it is responsive because I did set them to a specific percentage. What if, can you do like margin is 0 auto to center this thing? No, not that easy. Yeah, I think the issue is all of these buttons are taking up 100%. Magneto says in the chat, it'd be great if the whole box is clickable. Yeah, honestly, why don't we just do that? Yeah, and so instead of having like a button here, you just click the box to play the sound. And then like when the mouse is down, we'll change the color to be, let's say like dark blue or something like that. Yeah, let's do that because that button is just so ugly. Let's get rid of that button. Okay. So we're gonna just get totally get rid of the button, and then now we're just gonna add the click listener to the entire div. So we'll say sound div, and we'll say also sound div dot mouse down. No, so add event listener for mouse down. When the mouse goes down, we want to set its background color. So we'll say sound div dot background, no, dot style dot background equals that color. And then on mouse up, we'll just clear that, and the CSS style should take over. So on mouse up, background is nothing. All right, what do we got? Okay. Yeah, but actually, so instead of putting this play in click, we'll put it in mouse down. Because I had to like release my mouse to get it there. Okay. Cool. Yeah, this looks decent. I like this. I guess it would be nice if this thing were centered. I could probably figure that out. I don't want to spend too much time figuring that out, though. I do want to say I'm probably only going to stream for another maybe 10 or so minutes. This is going to be a short stream tonight. Okay, let's... Yeah, user experience upgrade. Yeah, looks way better. Let's just add some stuff here. So in the container, let's just add like an h1 coding garden soundboard, or we can just call it soundboard. It doesn't have to be specific to coding garden. Cool. Let's actually make all of the text on the page white, because right now we only have just the sound is white. Yeah. And then, I mean, yeah, if we make everything text align center, I think, did Joe suggest that earlier? Or somebody suggested earlier just text align? Yeah. Joe suggested, look at that. This is great. All I had to do was text align center, and it centered everything, which is awesome. Cool. Yeah, that's not the greatest. We could do like a responsive font size too, though. Do I have font size anywhere in here? Let's do this. Say font size is to view width. Whoa. Yes, the boxes are inline block, yeah, because they're divs, and I wanted to show them all on the same line. Noah says, usually happy people annoy him, but my enthusiasm is contagious. I appreciate that, Noah. This is exciting, though. Like, you saw how ugly it looked like 2 minutes ago, and now it's like, it's decent. What if we do one view width? Yeah. Ooh, look how responsive that is. Pew, pew. And let's also do like a media query. So like on a smaller device, it goes to only 2 across instead of 4 across. Yeah. Actually, I want let's set up some hotkeys. So let's do this. We'll detect the key down on the entire page, and if it's any of the like AS, DF, G, like any of the center row. So any key that is pressed on the center row will trigger a sound starting with the first like top left. Let's take a quick break. Throw a gradient background on there? Okay. Actually, I want this to be even bigger. Let's say like the H1 font size is 1.5 view width. 2, 3. Wow, okay. All right, I think that's the last thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it so that when you press a letter, it will trigger that sound. So let's do this. I'm gonna add that in the, I guess in this function, in the add sounds to page, because here's what I'll do. I'll push all of the players into an array, and then depending on which key is pressed, I'll just choose that player and then play it. Okay, so let's say this. Players is just an array, and then when we create a player, we will push it into that array. Okay. And actually, let's push in the sound div too, so we can actually modify its background color. Even whenever you press a key, we can know which div to change the color of. So let's do this. Let's push in an object that has the player and the sound div in it. So players push, player, and sound div. Okay, so after this function after this for each runs, we have all of the players in an array. And so now let's do document dot add event listener key down. And inside of this, we get access to the event, and then there's like a key code. I believe, like that, yeah. So, oh, I'm already pressing keys, but okay, let's refresh the page, and we'll do A, S, D, F, G, H, J, K, L. How many do we have? We have 4 times 3, we have 12, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are the key codes that we care about. Let's store those in an array somehow. Well, that's weird. All right, so we want to say, well, actually we can just do this. Well, no. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is what we want to do. So we want to say, basically want to have an object where the key in the object is the key code, and then the value in the object, well, we'll have to fix that, is like the index in the array. So we'll fix that. So like when key code is 65, the player is 0. When key code is 83, the player is 1, etc. Wait, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so let's store this in an array. I'm sorry, in an object. And here's what we do. So we have the key code, so we can say player is going to be the key codes at event.keycode. And then this, so this is going to be player index, because that gives us that. And then the player is just going to be players at player index. And we'll say if player is a thing, then we want to play that. Basically, we want to do this. Oh, actually, this is player and div, right? And so if there was a player and a div, we'll say player.div.sounddiv.style is that. The current time is 0, and that is that. All right. A. I'll do H. F. Okay, that's hilarious. All right, so now that we have the key down, we need the key up, and we'll just do the opposite. So key up, and then we set the background to nothing. Yeah, and then we don't do anything with the player. Cool. So if I hold down A, that's interesting though, because my thought was if I'm holding down A, then I don't want to replay it. I just want to keep playing the current one and keep the current background color. But for whatever reason, like if I hold down A, it starts playing it over and over again. That's curious though, because I guess the key down event is just getting called over and over again when you hold a key down. Yeah, look at that. Is there I think there's a key press event that is not key down? Keyboard event. Yeah, maybe we want key press, because that would only give us the event whenever it when the key goes down, I think. No. Key press is giving us that over and over again at 2. Are we sure? Hard refresh. Okay. It's a bug for now. Yeah, I guess we'll just like hold. You don't really want to hold the button, but cool. So thank you. Okay. Yeah, I think that's great. I think one last thing I'll do is add just like a button at the bottom that says stop all, and that'll just stop all of the sounds. So let's do this. Yeah, because only inside of this function right now, add sounds to page, is where we have access to all of the sounds. So we'll just create the function in here and append like the stop button in here. And so basically we just need to iterate over players because we're pushing into that. So we'll say players dot for each. And really these are players and divs. So player and div. Actually, we could destructure it, pull out the player like that. Gotta wrap this in parentheses, I believe. So for each one, we'll say player.stop. And essentially, we just want to append we want a stop all button here. I think we did H2s. Yeah. And let's give that one a different background color. Is there anything else in the palette? I guess we just do black. Let's do black for that one. Ooh, okay. And so let's give this an ID of stop button. And in here, like after we append all of the sounds, we'll just add, this code is messy. I wish I had time to clean it up. But here we'll just say, we'll grab the element, we'll grab the stop all button. So document.query selector, the element with the ID stop all. And we'll add the click event listener to it. And when that happens, we just want to call our stop all function that we defined down there. All right, are we ready? Oh wait, cannot read property add event listener of null. Did I call it stop all? What did I call it? Stop button. Okay. All right, are you ready? Player.stop is not a function. Why not? That's hilarious. We played the drum roll and everything. I thought it was. We are destructuring the player out of the object that we're pushing into it, right? We're pushing the object in. Let's just log the player. So I'm gonna click that. I guess there is no stop button. I guess you could pause it. Yeah, so yeah, and that should still work if we pause it because we're always setting the current time back to 0 when we play it again. Okay, yeah, let's do that. All right, drum roll, please. Yay! Wait, awesome. That was fun. Okay. I do have to end the live stream about now, but does anyone have any questions or comments before I go? I'll push this code up to GitHub and maybe not on live stream, but I am going to clean this code up quite a bit. Like there's some redundancy in here and it's really long. So yeah, I'm going to clean it up. But other than that, that was pretty sweet. You can best believe that I will be using this on future live streams. Cool. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, I will not be streaming tomorrow or Saturday, but Sunday will be morning tea and then continue with the regular streaming schedule. If you check out coding.garden, you can see my live stream schedule. When you visit the page, this is going to be in your time zone, and apparently my animation is broken. I think that's supposed to be Adam. Lame. Okay. Yeah, but when you visit this, it'll be in your time zone specifically. Also, follow me on Twitter. And you will get notifications of when I go live. Bob is requesting a 4-hour love stream. He meant live stream. That'd be great. I would love to just code for like hours. The main thing about live coding and live streaming is it's exhausting compared to regular coding. I keep looking over here. The camera's over there. Exhausting compared to regular coding when you narrate as much as I do. Because when I'm all alone and like coding by myself, I don't have to say anything, so I can just like type and try everything. That said, it is really fun. We'll pick like a really cool topic. I don't know, maybe we'll build like a full stack app. I won't stop streaming until it's done. But yeah, that'd be a very fun time. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. I will see you on Sunday.